Let me get this message out here 1 second. There. Good, good, good. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. Here 1 second. Well, I hope everybody had a great trading day today. So, and a wonderful, blessed weekend. So, happy Monday, everybody. It was the market definitely seemed like it had a case of the Mondays today. So, so there wasn't a lot going on today, right? So that's why I thought it was kind of appropriate to start to do the series again of what happened with, because there were a few names that moved, and one of those names was Nvidia. So, what happened with Nvidia today? So, we'll take a look at that in a second. We'll also look at see how it affected some of the other names today too in its sector. So very interesting stuff there. Before we get started, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look and see where we left off in the market here today, and then we're going to take a look at the futures and see what we're up to or down to here this evening and what might be setting up going into tomorrow. And then we're going to take a look at the topic, and then we'll go through questions and chart requests. So let's get started. All right, so SPX today, guys, really not much of a day today, right? Only down 89 cents, so pretty flat move to start the week, right? Monthly chart still green here at the upper Bollinger Band. Weekly chart, check this out. You really got to zoom in here to see what's going on with the week. Not much, right? The range of the candle is only 16 points, right? I mean, so far that's a kind of a blah start to the week, right? And I think a lot of it, we had kind of low volume today. I think a lot of it has to do with folks on spring break, things like that. So that is a possibility. But other than that, it also might just people just being timid, being here at all times. I was like, how much farther can this thing go? So it's kind of interesting. We started to get a little bit to the overbought area here on the RSI. You can see we crossed the 70 mark. So it is potential. We do have a potential of having some bearish divergence coming in here off of the Corona crash, which is pretty interesting. So let's definitely keep an eye on that and see how that goes. The daily chart, again, obviously a narrow range day. Pretty interesting. Not as narrow as the inside day from a couple days ago, but definitely more narrow than the one prior. But these were we had just a really tight range, a couple tight range days last week, triple pause day, and then up on Friday. So no real follow through momentum today, although we did get a good dip buy, right? So let's take a look here at the just kind of the intraday price action here, just using the 60-minute chart, and look at our Elliott wave count. And so one of the things that we're tracking here, right, is this was a great short opportunity in this, right? We had the zigzag down, right? And so we had this impulsive move up, any diagonal, right, for wave one. And then we had kind of this ABC wave two, right? And then we had this 1, 2, 3, 4 triangle 5, and it looks like we're still in this wave 5 move, right? So we're getting really, really close to the 618 extension, which is oftentimes where the wave 5 ends. So we're starting to get a little timid up here. Lots of upper shadows off of these levels here today, although we did get a big spike into the close here at the end of the day, so that was pretty interesting as well. So so let's see how that plays out going into tomorrow. But in the meantime, let's take a look at the S&P futures and see what we're up to or down to here this evening. So it looks like we're up about $1.75. So it's trying to make a little bit of a push here. We were down a little bit more earlier, but again, still a pretty choppy evening here so far. So we hit fresh all-time highs today. Again, we'll give these fresh levels out to our members here tomorrow morning in the bubble report and in the Discord. But in the meantime, right, so we could be bull flagging going into the evening, right? So we got this going on right here. So keep an eye on that. Otherwise, keep an eye on your geometric lines, right? So we've got this geometric line right here. So see how that holds going into tonight, right? And then if you really wanted to, you could put one right here off of that last balance and just kind of see how that holds too. So, but anyway, it should be pretty interesting, right? These all-time highs just continue to grind our way up, and we're getting close to a potential wave 5 finish. And if we get to that wave 5 finish, we would expect wave 5 of 3. We'd expect a wave 4 pullback. We might, start to work on that gap that we saw from the wave 3 push. But we'll see how that goes. More than likely, just retest the triangle and then maybe try a little bit higher. But we'll see where we go from there. So, very, very, very interesting. So good stuff. So let's take a look at the topic here. So we've got the question of the day is what happened with Nvidia today? So this would be a good one, guys. So what happened with Nvidia today? Well, Nvidia, we profiled this in the, we mentioned this in the bubble report this morning, and we talked about a Good Morning Market Prep video today. Nvidia had an investors day today. Now, keep in mind NVIDIA, let's take a look at it. Let's pull up the chart here on NVIDIA. So keep in mind that NVIDIA, it's been behaving kind of really sluggish around its previous earnings, right? So it's needed like another catalyst to get things going here, right? So if we just kind of scroll back on the daily chart here and we look at the last couple earnings reports, right? We had stellar earnings back here, right? So a big beat on earnings, 2 earnings reports ago, right? So a nice, almost double, right? And we just kind of pulled back off and just kind of chop. I mean, just we waited forever for a breakout, never got it, right? And then ultimately we did get this move right here, which is pretty good, but it was not easy, right? Because we had a breakout breakout day, a shooting star day, breakout day, and then a little bit of follow through, the shooting star, and then back down after earnings, right? After more good earnings, it had good earnings again, right? So pretty cool stuff there, right? And then it ended up working its way down. So we've been waiting for a nice move up. Now, this is not a one of the harmonic patterns that we would typically look at. However, it did handle some very interesting levels, right? So if we take this move right here, that was right off of the 50% move, right? So we had a 50% retrace and kind of worked our way down. And then this, I'm thinking we're going to call this like the bubble pattern, right? So because we had a 50% slash 60% retrace, and I've seen this a couple times here recently where it's this hasn't been since that's maybe the 50% is technically not a Fibonacci, but anyway, yeah, the 50%, and then boom, we kind of had this essentially what looks like a harmonic move up, right? So really, really nice stuff there. In fact, maybe it is a thing. Anyway, we'll call it the bubble. Anyway, so we had a nice bubble harmonic move up right here on Nvidia. So if that is the case, right, you can see here that things were generally working pretty good. We had an inside day up, and it looked like we were pushing our way up, possibly to get to all-time highs, right? And that is the trigger happened today at their Investors Day. Now, not much was going on intraday today, right? So it was on our 15-orb radar, but if you kind of just look at the the short-term time frame, right? If you just go here, we were just kind of chopping around. In fact, it didn't even look bullish at all, right? We were just kind of down a little bit down. We had a nice little bounce right here, a little bit of volume, just kind of down, right? And then we just kind of doji and just blah, right? And then we go here, down volume on a green candle, up volume on a red candle, and then boom. Okay, so this is what gets us interested, right? So obviously we knew, I tweeted out to the group, or I messaged out to the group in the Discord today. I was like, hey guys, it sounds like we're starting to get some flow coming in from the news flow coming in from the Nvidia Investors Day. But what really came out was interesting, right? So it was very, very powerful stuff that they were talking about. They talked about supercomputer, AI type stuff, right? So you had this big move right here, but this was your 15-orb breakout. This made our 15-orb list today because we knew it was going to be on the radar. And this is great, right? So we had this inverse head and shoulders, right? So we had this here, and the neckline of the head and shoulders happened to be at the 15-orb high, right? So really cool stuff there too. So we had this, and however you want to put it, but basically here, essentially, I mean, you can kind of look at it this right here, but really, really close to the 15-orb high, right? And so this volume right here, when you see volume go like this, you definitely want to get interested. And so this is pretty cool. So I like this. 49,000 shares traded here. And then you had 351,000 shares traded right here, right? So for almost 6 times, right, the amount of shares traded, right? Pretty impressive stuff. And then a big push through here. Do you think it's just going to pull back off of it? Well, it might. But if you start to see more volume coming in and you start to see some momentum push above it, right, chances are you're going to get some more upside, right? So these are the stuff that we look for. It's kind of like a Tesla type move. It's kind of a Tesla type move and a big push right here, right? More right here, right? And then it started to calm down a little bit. What I like about this is this also helps explain a couple other actions right here. So this is kind of, we had a nice little bull flag right here too, but it also helps explain some other setups as well, right? So we look here, we kind of had a little bit of an impulsive move up right here. Even if you look at this could have been your wave 1, your wave 2, and then boom, wave 3, wave 4 bull flag, right? Don't forget, waves like to be contained by channels, and a channel would be a bull flag, right? So you have your flag, right? See, a nice little channel right there, right? The corrective wave. So there's your wave 4, and then boom, wave 5. And what's pretty cool about this, one of the things we talked about today, is that right, if you miss this, right, that any traders that missed this and then they sold right here, they get back in, or even opportunity to catch wave 5. And that's why wave 5s are a little bit harder to trade. They're usually not as much. You don't get as much movement, right? But you still get a nice push right there, and that ended up working its way up pretty nicely right there before just kind of calming down there into, and then there we go, we had another move right there. So you can look at this 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you had this wave right here. Goodness gracious, so it still had more. And look at the volume that came in here. So again, 540,000 contracts here on shares on the on this move. So yeah, so got a little upside and basically hit our targets here into the end of the day. The only thing it couldn't get was all-time highs. So cool stuff. That was Nvidia. And what else happened with Nvidia today? Well, apparently the technology that they're coming up with is really eating into Intel, right? So what happened with Intel today at about the same time? So this news was processed pretty quickly here, 1220. Intel, right? You can look at the 1220 candle on Intel here on the 5-minute chart. And let's get zoom. Oh, look at this. Ruh-roh. Okay, so Intel got hit at 12:15 to 12:20. It already got that news started to hit right here. So the algos were hitting Intel early, right? So we had that nice push right there. So I wonder if they knew what Nvidia was going to come with today. Boom. No coincidence that we had this move down as well. Nice geometric breakdown, right? Kind of a channel breakdown, not really a bear flag off of this move. A little too big for a bear flag, but big move down on Intel today after a huge run up, right? So you got to imagine that anybody who's like long in that over the weekend, right, is like, oh, I'm out, right? So I mean, plus it took the stops out here, right, and then here, right, and then basically just kind of bounced off of that. Some buyers started to step in at this level here. So pretty cool stuff, and it also affected AMD, right? So AMD. So even if you didn't catch Nvidia, right, there's still action on some cheaper. Nvidia is a little bit wild, right? It's a tough one to trade. Intel is a little bit easier, a little bit more liquid, and AMD is a little bit easier too. So we had some opportunities on those, and I know members capitalized on just about all that stuff here. 12.15 right here. Then this didn't even flush here at the 12.20, but it did give you a nice triangle right here, a nice little inside five, and then you had your increased candle right here, and then have a nice day, right? So good stuff, guys. That's what happened with Nvidia today. It ended up affecting some other names in the semiconductor industry, some of the big names that we like to trade. So good stuff there. And that was really kind of the action today. Because when you looked at the SPX, and you looked at the SPY, there wasn't much going on, right? There was some choppy, sloppy action and narrow range day and all that stuff. I think eventually SPY's really going to be really going to get going, but we'll have to see what happens here when this never-ending wave decides to finish. So anyway, so good stuff. Hopefully you guys found that helpful. At this point now, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those in the chat window, and we'll get through as many as we can. Try to wrap as early as possible so we can all get a good night's sleep and have an awesome trading day tomorrow. So Shirley sent a few in here via email, so let's take a look at those. Shirley, hope you're doing great out there. Let's take a look at Foot Locker. Come to the stripes. Let's take a look here. So we've been kind of tracking this as a 1, 2, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish type move. Anyway, definitely been grinding its way up right here. Nice move on Foot Locker. One to kind of keep an eye on there when Foot Locker moves too is Nike. Because a lot of times they go hand in hand, right? So you had a green day on Foot Locker, right? You can see we had a nice push here today on Nike off of an inside day. So cool stuff there. Sometimes Foot Locker has been a little bit tougher to trade options wise. Nike's still a little bit tough too, but share is pretty good. PNC, so you got a bank name right here. So basically just kind of grinding its way up, right? So it's we're getting pretty tight here, kind of triangle type. Whoop, let's get we don't need a circle right there, but we got kind of a little bit of a triangle, a little bit of a doji there today. It could be trying to get out of here. It's possible, right? You can kind of look at that as a possibility. Otherwise, it's kind of doing this, right? So let's see if it ends up really reversing off of that doji. We'll see where it goes. But I'd like to see some volume to the upside. Don't forget, guys, we got earnings coming up this week on a lot of banks. So PNC looks like it's got coming up here pretty soon as well. Another one, ALL, guys, Allstate, right? So because you're in good hands, right? So a big push there today with increased volume. So let's see if that continues to hold its trend. Good find on that one here. And then Yeti. Let's take a look at Yeti. So cool. So Yeti again, big push here today with increased volume here. It's coming back up to the fib fan lines. Remember these ones? So this was a really cool move. We drew these not too long ago, right? We're all the way back to the fib fan line on this one. I love it. So let's see if that holds as potential resistance. But a nice push here on Yeti as it continues to make its moves. Again, amazing valuations on these things. Anyway, Plan. Let's take a look. Plan with a good push right here. Watch your 200-day moving average potential resistance. Gave it a nice bounce right here. I wouldn't be surprised to see a 618 pullback on this one. So just kind of keep an eye on the price action on that. See where it goes. Right, if it pulls back and then gets ready to go again. So something to keep an eye on there too. So good stuff. All right, thanks for that. I appreciate it. Bullish and bearish trades. What's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look at PLTR. So PLTR with a nice triangle breakout attempt the other day, and then the reversal back down. This is a rough run, guys. We were expecting a little bit more upside on this one. We talked about it last night. It looked like it was gearing up for a move. We may be looking at a subwave pullback on this one right now. So just keep an eye on it. Kind of a bearish engulfing candle. Let's see if we can stay above the ADMA and get going again. But it gave us a great move the other day, right? So this just could be a pullback there, and it looks like it's still holding some levels. So we'll see how that goes. So good stuff there. AAL. Again, airlines got hit early this morning. And it pretty much stayed down, inside day down off of this one. So it's kind of hanging on to this geometric level right here. Oh, let's get the lineup here. So it's kind of hanging on to this geometric level right here. So let's see if that holds as support. If not, it could push down pretty quickly here to kind of test this level, which is about the 50-day moving average, which is pretty interesting there for AAL. D-Dog, let's take a look. So D-Dog, again, nice push here today. Nice little, who led D-Dog out? So good move. I like how it closed above these levels right here. Let's see if we can get any more upside to this name right here and see if we can get going. So, but I like the push off the ADMA and the increased volume on that one as well. And then CRWD, let's take a look. So CRWD, again, kind of a spinning top candle right here off of the 50-day moving average. See if we can get some strength here out of the cloud and see if it can get going again, right? So that would be nice there on CRWD. Great stuff. Appreciate it, bullish bearish trades. Bob, what's going on? Long time no see. I hope you're doing great. Let's take a look at Amazon. Here's another one with a never-ending wave. So this one gave an incredible push up. Got down. Let's take a look at the this one here. Let's take a look at the harmonics on this one. So we had this move down right here. 50% move, and then we had this move up right here. 618. I think we just found another bubble pattern here on Amazon. I think this thing's getting legit. So we got this, and have a nice day, right? So a big push up there on Amazon, and the The target on this one is take profits too early. No, I'm just kidding. The target on this one is, you probably look at just the extension on this one. So let's see how far this one went. So we went from the lows right here, went to the highs right here, went to here, right about the 1.272, 1.318. Let's see if we can get to the 1.618. But I like the 272. Looks pretty interesting. So let's see how that holds there. But good stuff on Amazonius here. So let's see if that continues to work its way up. At this point now, Bob, what we're looking for is not chasing it at this point. We're looking for at least to get a little bit of a pullback. This could be like kind of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish type move. So it looks like it's kind of it's probably wrapping up here a little bit with this impulsive wave. So look for maybe an ABC pullback. It'd be 618 would be cool, right? That could give it some more move, but maybe a 382 or even a momentum 236 would be interesting. So keep an eye on that one. Bob, guys, we tried to keep it on the bearish radar today, but it just was not, just not favorable. It just was too strong today. So apparently, if you get a big find in China, right, it's bullish, right? So and it's even up after hours here too, which is pretty cool. Big gap up, right? We talked about it. If it could close above these levels, right, we might have some increased strength on this one. We got into the daily cloud. So nice stuff there, and it's drifting a little bit up here after hours. Pretty impressive stuff on Baba. Good stuff there. And then Shop. Here's one I haven't looked at in a while. Look at that tight range day today. Oh my. Interestingly enough, right? Look at that. All that down moves was just from the morning. The rest of it was just chop, right? So really rough stuff right there. But keep an eye on this candle. Kind of came back in the middle of the range. Let's see how it holds the ADMA on this one, and if we can get out of the cloud and get going maybe for a little bit of an earnings run. So that'd be pretty cool too. This is not a bubble harmonic, right? So we got a little bit extended here to the downside. So again, the bubble harmonic is 50%, 618, and then go. So some pretty cool stuff there. Wally, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look at Roblox. So the dad's buying the dip, right? The parents buying the dip. Sorry, I always think that it's just dads, but I don't know. Do moms let their kids buy Robux anyway? So I'm sure they do. Anyway, so ended up bouncing right here. Big dip by here off of the IPO lows. 1, 2 might be working on a wave 3 right now for Roblox. So let's see if that continues to work its way up. Otherwise, oof. So Michael, yeah, Roblox all day, baby. I know this thing was powerful today. Big push here at the open. Nice inside 15 for the 15-hour breakout. Retrace the ADMA. Inside 15 up. Just a beautiful, beautiful day today on Roblox. So nice stuff there. Jim, what's going on? Thanks so much. I really appreciate the kind words and for the support. So Michael, yeah, competition is so fierce in the semi-names. One goes up, the rest goes up. I know it really is. Nvidia, Intel, AMD got hit today. And the thing is, there's like a chip shortage too, right? And so it's like, but nobody's really identified like who's short of chips. So where's the demand, right? You've got like kind of TSM out there, stuff like that. Their billion-dollar factory they're building to help combat the demand. And Intel actually had news too along. It didn't help at all today, but they're like, we're gonna help get more chips for the car makers and all that stuff. And it was like, okay, still down for the count today, seriously. But good stuff there. Anyway, I love it. So Blonde Broker, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, let's take a look at Twilio. Let's see how that's looking right here. So Twilio, again, a nice push up there today. I like how it's kind of pushing its way up to the 50-day moving average. We are a little bit extended right here, a little bit too much for a shark, not a little too little for a shark pattern, but it could be okay, right? It's just kind of just grinding its way up right here. I still like the waves. But watch out if it can't go over the 50-day moving, it might try to push its way back down. And Nvidia, I'm still overall bearish on even after the move today, after our discussion on this one today, right? So this, I think, this could be a wave 1, ABC, wave 2, right? As long as we don't take out the all-time highs, we could see an impulsive move down. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for the symmetrical move down. But anyway, it could invalidate if it takes out fresh on. But it rejected the all-time highs. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. But incredible move today. And, of course, we profiled that on the discussion here today. So good stuff. Michael, what's going on? TIRX. Let's take a look. Whoa! Oh my goodness, they got crushed today. Wow! Look at that intraday. Oh my goodness, it was $90. It's like $10. What happened? Halted on a circuit breaker. Halted on a circuit breaker. Halted on a circuit breaker. What happened here today? Just halted. What happened to this poor thing today? Goodness gracious. Was there any news on this at all? That's incredible. Down 40%. Just notes. I don't even know what they do. Anyway, amazing stuff. The thing got crushed today. Awesome. So good fight on that one. Jim, what's going on? Again, let's say, look. So what we got? So we've got Friday. EOD spike was interesting. Happening again on Monday. I know. I agree. Right? I know. Yeah. It's like they just keep on trying to push it. I mean, today was such low volume. Today, guys on the ES, we look for if we're literally gearing up for a move late in the day, right? Like something real. Wait, I mean, because right now it's just like imaginary land. I mean, I know it's still going up, but it's just like goodness gracious. If we're looking for something to go, we want to see over 25,000 contracts traded on the ES, right? During the day. And, I mean, and there was nothing until later in the day, right? I mean, this one right here, this was at the last candle of the day here. We had 36,000 contracts, right? But here on this candle up, 13,000. There's like nothing, right? 7,000. Right, I mean, there's just no 3,000. I mean, it was like trading at night today. I mean, it was just like no volume. 12,000, I mean, nothing, right? So really, really low volume type stuff. But yeah, so I mean, what they're trying to. Oh, sorry, that was the other day too. Hold on, give me 1 second here. Sorry, got this pulled up right here. Nothing. Still here. So I put it another day too. Again, this is what I'm saying. We have not been having a lot of volume recently. It didn't matter what day I pulled it. 6,000 contracts here, 8,000, 14,000, not 12,000. There's nothing. No. And then finally, this was the last kill of the day again. They did the same stuff, right? And then you had that big flush and kind of a reversal, 77,000 contracts. They waited all day. This is crazy. That's got to be algos or something or PPT stuff. I mean, like nobody trade. I mean, professional traders. I mean, nobody wants to be involved in that last candle of the day. I mean, it's crazy. Just wild, wild stuff. Anyway, Wild West stuff. So neat stuff there. Krishna, what's going on? Going to see. Let's look at BBY. Let's look at BBY. So let's see. It's kind of a choppy day here today. Let's take a look at the daily chart. So a bit of an upper shadow right here. Again, we were hoping this thing would get going, but Paul's looking at this kind of bullish right here, but it might have a little bit of pullback. 382, maybe the 618. See if that's getting ready to go here. GM. Let's take a look. GM was tough. It had a big push the other day, and it's really just kind of blah after that. It's kind of hanging on the ADMA, so it's kind of out of play right now. But look for a decent close on it one of these days to see if it's ready to get going. STIC, I mean, we can kind of keep an eye on it. In fact, that reminds me. Let me take a look at there. 15, break out 15. Take a look at that there. So GM, I want to keep that on the radar too. Yeah, it's a good point on that one. STIC, decent hammer on that one today. Again, kind of a little bit of a cheaper name, kind of lower volume type stuff. MUDs, let's take a look. Yeah, another kind of SPAC type name right here. Big pusher today. Let's see if it gets any follow through. And then the CLF, let's take a look. Oh, and Sono, yeah, CLF, let's take a look. CLF here with a kind of a doji nowadays, kind of a blah day on that one there. It's still under the ADMA, so a little bit of caution there. Sono gave a breakout the other day too. Today was, what do we get here today on Sono? Give me 1 second. Yeah, Sono might be interesting. You might want to put that on the bullish radar going in tomorrow. That could be interesting. Let's keep an eye on Sono and see if it gets a move up there. Could be bullish. I kind of like the hammer off the 80 man and see if it gets at least to the top of the inside day from the other day. So good stuff there. Michael, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look at G-Box. G-Box. Yeah, nice picture. Look at that. What is this thing? So I like it. Nice G-Box. Interesting name. So I guess they reached the final deal with Charge Savvy. What is this, like a charging company or something like that? Kind of like Blink or Plug or something like that. It's pretty cool. Yeah, nice candle on that one. Anyway, strong, good volume here. Nice off the ADMA. So good stuff there. Good find there. And then Amazon Nvidia might pull a Home Depot and go ham. I know. Yeah, Nvidia. I'm waiting for the all-time highs. Amazon. Yeah, we'll see. They did have an upgrade after hours. Jeffries upgraded them after hours. So after all that, they gave it an upgrade. So we'll see. Maybe they're just trying to get out of position. We'll see how it holds. So that's a big move for Amazon. Anyway, they're saying it might have some more upside, but we'll see. And then Nvidia could be interesting there too. Ron, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Let's say look at Futu. Let's see. So Futu again with the inside day reversal down, but he did put a lower shadow off the 50-day. Again, my target was down here to the 618, so this could be a 1-2 type move right here. So a little bit of caution if they're at Futu. So. But see if it can hold the above the cloud if it does get out of it there going into tomorrow. Grow generation here. Wow, nasty pullback right here again. A lot of the pot names were pretty weak this morning right at the open. Right, so it was like, just kidding, right? For a big down move, it kind of stayed down for the rest of the day. Not a lot of interest in that here this morning. So it seems like some big money just wanted to dump it a little bit. Michael, see, yeah, it's a China stock. Oh, yeah, exactly. I know it got a lot of these names got crushed, right? I mean, so the funny thing is, Baidu, right, down today, right? JD. Down today, right? On no news, right? It's the TIRX, right? Down today, right? IQ, I haven't even looked at this one yet. Down today, right? Neo, down today, right? And Baba with negative news. bullish, right? I mean, I love it. It's Willy Wonka's stock market. I'm just phenomenal. Anyway, big push out there, triangle reversal, drop base rally type move there on Bob. Anyway, Volt, what's going on? Going to see? Let's take a look at Uber. How are we doing on this triangle? Oh wow, we gapped above the triangle when we have an upper shadow office. This is on Paul's bullish radar going into today. We had a nice push here today. It was kind of triangulated into the day as well. So today this could be a 1-2. That could be your wave 3 start, right? And intraday, right? We could be looking at kind of a 1-2, right? So you kind of have this 1 A B C wave 2. So keep an eye on Uber. See if it gets straight. I know it's kind of a nasty candle right here, but look to see if it can push on Uber. That could be very interesting. So good stuff there. Jim, what's going on? Chatter on CHW. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Calamus. Kind of a cheap name right here, Doji Day on this one. I'm not really seeing too much exciting on it. I guess maybe because it hit all 52-week highs. It's been hitting 52-week highs on this thing. Yeah, it could be a Doji reversal. I'd be careful. I might want to pull back and tag the ADMA on that. So that could be pretty interesting there too. I'm sorry, CWH. My bad. CWH. Oh yeah, Camping World. This thing always this just always surprises me. Announces investor conference. Yeah, there's an investor conference coming up in September. I don't know what the chatter is, but this thing does move occasionally, right? It was actually pretty epic during the Corona crash, right? Because you got to think here that everybody just wanted to kind of get away from society, right? So they bought their RVs and just did that anyway. But it does give some interesting moves sometimes, so definitely want to keep an eye on occasionally. It can move. It's tough to day trade, but sometimes you catch a good swing on it. It can make a nice move on that one. M King, what's going on? I'm gonna see. Let's take a look at Square. Let's see how it's going. I know Baba. It's incredible. So Square, again, nice move up right here too, guys. This move down looks like it was a deep retrace right here off of these moves, right? So you kind of have this move, right? You have this. Okay. So here you've got a 618, right? Almost an 886. Right, so what could that be working on, right? So you got a 618 butterfly, right? So so it could be a perfect Gartley. It could be working on a Gartley, right? The crab could be a 618, right? So the crab could be a 618. Not going to be a bat. That's going to be, and then so yeah, not a butterfly. So it could be a Gartley or a crab, right? So if it was generally a Gartley, right, is going to be your kind of shorter term, right? So you just kind of want to keep an eye on it, right? So the extension on that would be basically a 786 of the XA move, right? So let's take a look here and see where we're at on this. So that would take us about here. Oops, take us about here. So the Gartley is basically fulfilled, right? So we definitely see a Gartley here. If it continues to push up, we might see a crab. If it does get to a crab, this thing Square could really get going. But watch out, this is potential resistance on this one. So that's a possibility as well. Next level is the 1.618, right? So you can kind of go here, 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 and here, right? So if it really wanted to get going, then at 1.618 could be a potential target if this thing really wants to get going. You can kind of count like a little wave right here, 1, 2. This could be 3. We might see a wave 4, and then maybe 5 to get to that target. So cool stuff there. Good. And so good stuff, Michael. Yeah, I know Bob is so incredible. So yeah, what's going on? Yeah, let's take a look at DKNG and see how it's looking. So DKNG. Whoa, nasty breakdown on DKNG here, though. I kind of invalidated a couple of the counts that we had on that we were talking about last night. So it just increased volume right here. This is looking blah right now. So again, losing its macro upward trend line too. Right? It's kind of a major geometric line. Right, so just kind of keep an eye on that right here. It looks like we lost that today. So it's basically in a trend box. So at this point now, right, what we'd want to do is just kind of keep an eye on it and see if it breaks down below those lows with increasing volume, and then see if it really wants to be in a downtrend. Right, so it's definitely something to keep an eye on right here. And then SOS, let's take a look. SOS was kind of an outside day today, right? So a little bit caution over here. Keep an eye on the Bitcoin. This one doesn't seem to be moving. We keep expecting it to, but it just doesn't. So I think they're just trying to crush a lot of the diamond hands on that one. So keep an eye on it, guys. This could be a battleground stock. See how it holds this level if it does push down any farther. So good stuff there. Yeah, Jim, my pleasure. Baba must have been expecting a $20 billion fight. I know, exactly. $2.5 billion, no big deal. Bullish. Right, exactly. Bob, thanks so much for tuning in. I always appreciate it. And the Boeing, Baba is also smothered. I know, exactly. So, Mike, you think Baba was bullish because the fine was for being too much of a monopoly? I know, exactly. Yeah, you guys are too awesome. Right, exactly. So, DKG wave 3 up to ABC down. I know, so annoying. This is what it is. It's tough, right? That's the hardest part. Anyway, good stuff, guys. I know, Jim, yeah, it's hilarious, but it's true. It's funny. But keep an eye on it. Again, it'll probably squeeze out as many shorts as it can before it's ready to reverse back down again and kind of come back to reality. So we'll see how that goes. Market loves to keep folks insolvent, be irrational, longer than most can stay solvent, right? That's kind of the idea. And then we look to get it and catch some trades. So anyway, good stuff, guys. Well, that was a fun talk tonight. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in. Tomorrow we're going to keep the series up. We'll see what happened with something new tomorrow. And I really appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you're new here, please click subscribe on YouTube. If you're not, whether you're new here or not, please hit the like button and hit the notification button too, so you can see when we put our videos out throughout the day. And either way, guys, we'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning, either in the Bubble the Report, in the Discord, in the private Twitter, or free here on YouTube for the Good Morning Market Prep video. So I hope everybody has a wonderful evening, and thanks again for tuning in. Stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first and stay safe.